Hello, my name is Jalen Laws, and today I'll be talking about the Great Hack. Uh, the Great Hack starts out by saying there's a dream that everybody be connected throughout the world, and this is basically talking about a technological advance that can kind of go the wrong way. Now, this takes place during and after the 2016 election year where Donald Trump got elected. And this documentary shows how a lot of information that's collected by Cambridge Analytica, which is a company in the UK, was used to persuade voters. And what they call the persuadables, where people that are easily persuaded, and we could persuade through a few ads and propaganda throughout Facebook. So Cambridge Analytica was a big part of the Trump campaign because of the information they could collect and the propaganda they could spread. And Alexander Nix, he was the CEO at the time and was like the face, and he was on the back burner of all this because everybody wanted to know, okay, where's my information going? At this time, well, came out later that they got data from 87 million people just from Facebook. So you can see how that's a problem. And the Facebook data being collected at the time was for voter information. So a lot of personal data was being taken and stored in places no one really knew. And a man named by David in the documentary filed a legal claim in the UK against Cambridge Analytica. He wanted to know where they got the data, how they processed it, who they shared it with, and do we have the right to opt out of it. And he wanted to know his full disclosure, basically. So he just wanted to know where my information is going and, can I get it back? And that's all he wanted. He wanted his information back, which is his human right. And your human right is to have your data safe. And you don't want it in the hands of all these other companies that you didn't want to share it with. And eventually, Cambridge Analytica in the suit basically refused to give him his information, and they lost the battle. Can't quite remember. I believe he was sued, or Cambridge Analytica was sued, and I believe they shut down for a while. So they just wanted their basic human rights of having their information protected. So, and someone who pushed that human right was Brittany Kaiser, who was part of Cambridge Analytica, and at the end of the day ended up testifying against them because she felt everything they were doing was wrong and she had a bad feeling about it. And later she testified and brought up a lot of good information, but she kind of disappeared in the shadow because it became overwhelming. But she still pushes the human right through data out in the world, and she is still sharing her voice about it. So, yeah, 87 million people through Facebook is a crazy number because that's a lot of people's information. And in the documentary, they brought out the fact that the votes were so close in swing states that 70,000 people could determine who was like the swing in that state. So that's not a lot of people at all. And if you could persuade that many people through propaganda and manipulating them basically, then that's a problem, because then it changes the way the election works and the whole democracy works. And we're built off of honesty, and that's not very honest. Saying we manipulated voters and we won because of A, B, and C. So this is really an ethical dilemma, because at the end of the day, Donald Trump in 2016, his digital campaign director claimed to have run 5.9 million visual ads. And if you take into account what Hillary Clinton how many ads she ran. It said she only ran 66,000. So he had a big gap in between the two. And that's a whole ethical dilemma. Like, yes, we're beating her in the ads, but is it fair? Is it right? And this just proves how much tech is like being advanced throughout the years. Like, later on, will Instagram do the same thing? Because the CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, he was in this whole trial about Facebook and their information, and he was backtracking. He didn't really have the information, and people knew he was lying. I believe they got sued, and the whole stock went down. But this just proves how much technology is advancing and how much people are using it to where it could be persuaded, during the election. So, yeah, it's crazy in my opinion. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed.